The Poco M5 4G was packed in a yellow case that looked like a suitcase. On this case, the Poco brand was written. On the front of the retail box it says Poco M5 and it has the Poco logo. Made in India is written in one of the corners. On the back of the retail box there is a list of all the features, such as the screen, battery, camera, and so on. The retail box contains the following: USB Type-C to Type-A cable for the Poco M5 4G adapter tool for taking out SIM cards, a case that protects and how to use it guide and warranty card. The Poco M5 4G review. Design. The Poco M5 4G has a design that is very different from other phones. For starters, the icy blue color option looked very nice for how much it cost. The smartphone has rounded corners and the display on the front looks like a drop of water. All of the edges of the device are thin, but the chin is a little bit thicker than usual, so it looks like any other cheap smartphone. The power button and the volume rockers are both on the right side of the back of the smartphone. The fingerprint scanner is built into the device's power button, so the two jobs are done at the same time. The SIM card slot is on the left side of the device's spine. The speaker grill and USB Type-C port are at the bottom of the device. The back of the phone has a leather finish all the way around, and there is a camera island in the middle. The part that sticks out for the camera is black, and the Poco logo is on the right side of the phone. On the left side of the island, 3 sensors and a flash have been put in place to improve the quality of photos as a whole. The design of the device has a perfect score of 5 out of 5 stars because it helps it stand out from the competition. A review of the Poco M5 4G display. The Poco M5 4G has a screen with a 6.58-inch resolution and a 90 Hz refresh rate. The device's display panel is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which has a touch sampling rate of about 240 Hz. The YouTube tutorials were really easy to follow, and the real thing was just like what they said it would be. People who are used to using AMOLED displays may find that the smartphone's brightness is too bright for their tastes. Not only that, but it was also seen that the screen didn't have the perfect black color where it was needed. This is because the display is an IPS LCD display, so you could see a little light there. Not only that, but it was also clear that the screen didn't have the right shade of black. Still, it all makes sense when you think about the fact that the smartphone is a competitor in the low-cost market segment. You can trust the reviews when we say that watching The Sandman on Netflix on the Poco M5 4G was not at all a bad experience. Now, we'll not say that it was something really special because it wasn't. A look at how well the Poco M5 4G works. The Poco M5 4G is run by the MediaTek Helio G99 processor, which is the latest chipset that MediaTek has made for low-cost devices. Also, the device has an ARM Mali G57 MC2, which is the part that handles graphics. Both of these parts are in the device. After testing it in different ways, you can say that the smartphone works better than the Helio G96. It also has 128 GB of UFS 2.2 storage and 6 GB of LPDDR4X RAM. This smartphone also has a feature called Extended RAM that can hold up to 2 GB of data. However, this is not the same as the phone's physical RAM. Apex Legends Mobile can be played on your phone with the graphics turned all the way up. After half an hour, it's possible for both the game and the phone to get too hot and become too slow to play. If you play video games, it's important to remember to take breaks often so that your performance doesn't go down. The handset was able to handle multiple tasks at the same time with a fair amount of ease. However, if you do this, you may have some heating problems. When you use the device to watch videos for a long time, the situation is exactly the same. Having said that, there is one thing that needs to draw your attention to, and that is the fact that the smartphone has great speakers that make great sound when you play music or videos. The fingerprint scanner on the phone responds quickly and makes the whole process go much more smoothly. Aside from all that, the device runs on the MIUI 13 operating system, which is built on top of the Android 12 platform. The device's operating system is very easy to use, but it comes with a lot of software that isn't needed and it's just a bother. Review of the camera on the Poco M5 4G. The Poco M5 4G comes with a triple camera setup on the back. The main camera has a 50 megapixel resolution, while the ultra-wide-angle camera has 8 megapixels and the depth camera has 2 megapixels. The smartphone's back camera system makes sure that you can always take high-quality photos no matter how bright it is outside. After putting the back camera system through its paces, you can find that most of its modes do what you expect them to do. But the 2 megapixel depth sensor can't take pictures with a whole lot of depth. When the sensor was set to 50 megapixels, the camera was able to take some of the best high-resolution photos ever. The smartphone's night mode, on the other hand, wasn't as good as other options in the same price range. Some other choices are: when the camera was set to the night mode, it made a lot of noise in the photos, which put out the fire. The front-facing camera on the device has a resolution of 13 megapixels, so you can use it to take selfies and take part in video chats. Even though one has to admit that the front camera is pretty good, it still cannot get the details in the photos when the lighting is low or medium, which is obviously a bad thing. Given the price of the phone, you don't have any major complaints about the way the camera is set up. The Poco M5 4G review: battery. The battery in the Poco M5 4G has a capacity of 5,000 milliampere hours and can be charged quickly at a rate of 22.5 watts. During the test, it took about an hour and 45 minutes for the smartphone's battery to charge all the way up. The length of time it takes for the device to reach its full power level is, to say the least, disappointing. But the battery drains very slowly, which more than makes up for how slowly it can be charged. When put to the test in real life, the battery of the smartphone dropped by as much as 12 to 14% when demanding games were played on it. When the brightness was set to moderate and you watch a movie or a show for an hour, the drain went down to between 8 to 10%. After being fully charged, the battery lasted about 16 hours. During that time, you can play games, watch a couple of movies, make a dozen or so phone calls, listen to music on Spotify, and use social media apps at the same time. Should you buy the Poco M5 4G? That's what the review asks. The only phone you need that costs 15,000 rupees or less is the Poco M5 4G. On the other hand, a few other technologies are much better than it. If you want a cheap camera, the Poco M5 is not for you. On the other hand, if performance is the most important thing to you, and you also care about how something looks, and you want to get your hands on something that is both elegant and unique, then the Poco M5 4G is your best bet. It's an easy-to-use device that's great for people who are new to Android or who want to step up their game. It's also good for those who want to gain more experience. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for more.